So Joss Stone is Josh, I don't know, man, whatever. Anyway, this singer is pregnant, and that gives me a little bit hope for humanity. Why? Well, let me explain. Folks, as always, welcome to the Modern Survivalist channel. Being better prepared and realistic survival and preparedness is what we do here. And yes, this is very much linked to the survival of the species. And if you want to learn more about all of this stuff, as always, you have the channel with a ton of information. You have my books, which are available in Amazon in the links below. That will give you a lot of information so as to accelerate your learning experience in the preparedness world. So why is it that I'm talking about this? Because we are in a crisis. People don't want to have kids. So much so that we are looking at a demographic collapse. It is inevitable at this point. It's going to happen. There's simply not enough people that want to have kids so as to sustain the population. We've been brainwashing humanity into thinking that we're overpopulated. There's still dumbasses out there. And that's the word I have to use, because if you still believe that we're overpopulated, you're a fucking moron. You are kind of like a flat earther in terms of not understanding basic things such as, if you don't have the fertility rate so as to replace the existing people, then you cannot sustain it, and it starts going down, and then you fucking disappear up until the point in which you realize you're going extinct and you have starting kids up again. But if you don't have the average woman having 2.1 kids, and since you cannot have 0.1 kids, that means that every once in a while someone would have to have 3 kids, then we're all fucked. It's as simple as that. It's really not all that complicated. So that's why you wonder, how is it that still people, oh yeah, I just have one. No, I don't want to have any kids. Why? Well, because of the global warming and the carbon footprint. Of course, I'm saving Gaia, Mother Nature, by not reproducing. Okay, you're ending humanity with that attitude. If everyone does the same thing you think is the right thing to do, we go extinct in fucking 80 years. No kidding. So that's a problem that we have. Now, it's not a problem that everyone has, and that's the case of Joss Stone, the singer. I think I've heard some. I'm sure she's super popular and she has a bunch of songs, because that name does ring a bell. Anyway, the singer, 37-year-old, has violated a couple kids and adopted a newborn baby. So now, the thing that caught my attention was this. I was like, okay, anytime I see someone that wants to have a bunch of kids, like this woman here, she says she wants to have 7 kids. She's going to actually, it's one thing to say it. Another thing is to actually do it, or at the very least start doing it by having a couple and planning on having more. And she seems to be going in that direction. But what caught my attention was this. Check this out. And this goes into so many things. This goes into human nature, demographics, reproduction, the extinction of mankind, but also in terms of dating, relationships. What is it that women that are not fucked up in the head will usually want? Well, check this out. She met Cody. This is her husband, and I think he's not even like a famous guy. I think he's like a more average dude. I'm not sure. I think that's the case based on another article that I read. So she met Cody, who is also adopted, at an airport in Belize in 2020. I think that Cody is a former Marine guy, when she was on her way back from a gig in Antarctica. And this is the part that caught my attention. When Josh tried her standard conversation opener with dates on him, "Nice to meet you. I want 7 kids," he responded that he wanted an adoptive beagle and adoptive baby. I was like, my God, I love you. I knew he was the one, blah, blah, blah. And so we go on. But apparently, the thing that was keeping guys away from this freaking famous woman, successful, is that she wanted to have 7 kids. We've become such a bunch of pussies that the fact that a young, attractive, millionaire, successful woman tells you that she wants to have a bunch of kids scares guys. Again, I don't know this woman. Yes, it's not just about that. It has to be something that's compatible with you, what you want in life. You actually have to like one another and so on. But that is so believable. I just believe that there's half of the guys out there in the world that you tell them, yeah, I want to have 7 kids. They say, no, No, okay, bye. We're not doing it. I mean, yeah, do you want to hang around for a day or two, just mess around a little bit, have fun? Yeah, but the idea of having that's something that's going to be scaring not only most guys, but also scaring most women. Most women these days simply do not want to have kids. Maybe at the most one, if that. But that's kind of it. The idea of big families, I've always dreamed of having a large family. That's the kind of thing that less and less people strive for. Not everyone, and it's crazy because if you look at really some of the richest, most successful people, some of the when you think of old money, when you think of people that have create entire dynasties, right? You need people for that. They have kids. Those guys, those very wealthy people, in general, most of them, they will tend to have lots of kids. Why? Because they want legacy. They want to build a legacy. They want to build generations to come. That's the thing. And usually it's also the thing that they say matters the most, even more than the actual tons of money that they have. That's the thing that you should have in common if you are like-minded. It doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. And the thing of, but yeah, it is more expensive than ever before. I won't argue against that. But it's also a point that in some of the poorest countries in the world, people have always had a lot of kids, and they still manage, right? But every single kid you have is $500,000. Okay, yeah, kind of. Depends. Could be a lot less than that. But yeah, it's going to be expensive. And you will have less time and less money if you spend it on kids. I happen to think that is definitely worth it. A lot of people will not agree with me. So that's how we ended up in this little conundrum that we are in which no one wants to have any kids. Also keep in mind, it is part of the propaganda. It is part of the brainwashing. All of those articles about how women are happier not having kids, all of those articles about how kids are so expensive and so bad for you, and life is so much better when you don't have any kids and you just buy shit so as to keep the corporations super wealthy. Yeah. But no, then you have these faces. The happiest moment in lots of people's lives is, yeah, we're having a kid. That's usually one of the things that people will tell you is the happiest thing. And I have my 6-year-old right now throwing up, and it's the kind of thing that people go like, yeah, shit, worrying about puke from little kids. But you know what? Still totally worth it. Would not change it for anything in the world. And these are the days that you go like, oh yeah, that no, it's not terrible. It's nothing. Yeah, I guess that when you have 3 already, you kind of get used to the idea, and it's not that big of a deal. But guys, anyway, just congratulations to this woman that she's planning having a big old family there. And yeah, that's gonna be all for now. See you in the next video. Take care.